Stephen,
Hey, Gaetano, how are you?
are we on a third call here?
We're a third call, but this is a group call. This is where I get to annoy many people at the same
Oh,
time.
okay.
So, Gaetano, every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, we do a sort of coaching call, which is more of a sort of a networking thing with GHL agencies and all of that sort of thing. So you're here with many other people at the moment.
Okay. Um, did you say at Thursday at 9?
Yeah, so I believe it is right now 9 a.m. Pacific, isn't it?
Oh, you're no, I don't think so. I think oh yes, it is. Yep,
Ah,
yep.
yeah, because I'm 5 p.m. GMT over in the UK.
Sure,
So
sure.
yeah, go. So guys, having a chat to Gaetano. He's just joined the Extendly family recently. And took up the founders package, which a lot of people here have done as well. And he's just getting welcome to these calls, mate. The Extendly team do different coaching calls every, I think, Monday, Tuesday. Charles is here who does one on Tuesdays, I think. Thursdays and Fridays, where we try and share some knowledge and help the community grow.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
that
and I was on one, I think I was on one extendedly coaching call, I think, already, but I do have them so I have Monday at noon, Tuesday at 2, then, oh, this is Eastern time. I'm sorry. This is
yeah,
all Eastern time.
yeah.
And then Thursdays at this one here.
This one here, yep.
And then on Fridays, there's one at noon.
Yep, I believe so. It's the same time as the one on Monday. I'm just looking at my calendar. You if you
Okay.
joined the one on Tuesday, you would have seen a gentleman who's walking on his treadmill right now, Charles
Oh, that's
Higgins.
Charles.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
we call this
I know him. I,
Charles's second Zoom.
I'm getting to know him pretty well. Just a
He,
minute.
he's a good guy, Charles. So Keys just put the link in the coaching calls. But hey guys, welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Steve. I'm the token Australian on the Extendly team. I also run the sales team, and I know a little bit about things. We're thankful that Charles is here as well because he knows more about everything than me. And the idea of this call is to network, chat, talk about what's going on, what's coming up, help each other out, and all of that sort of thing. And Adam, you got your hand straight up, mate. So let's go for it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Stephen. My question is around setting up, I believe I'm using the correct terms here, a SaaS product where we want to effectively screw the system down where they don't have access to anything, particularly because we want to deliver a message only service. So
Yeah.
telephone call comes in, say it comes to the person's mobile phone, it diverts to, in this case, the admin AI, the
Yep.
AI agent, and then it sends a message, but there is an element where they will need to log into the system.
Yep.
But as they log in, we don't want them to have access to create additional AI agents or anything like that.
Okay.
Plus, it's a low cost point product.
Yep.
What we're looking at is the most automated way possible.
Yeah.
So, is there a SaaS version where they basically have access to next to nothing?
Sort of a dashboard stats or something like that, and that's about it. Is that all you'd give them access to?
Maybe the CRM, as
Yeah.
in the contact list,
Yep.
and the messages that have been taken inside that, and then um, even the bit I don't understand in my head is when they get admin access. How do I almost not give them admin access? They're almost at a role level at this point.
Yeah, so you'd be creating a user role when they sign up, and Charles is going to correct us in a second. In the SaaS configurator, you can get turn on and off features. I don't know if you can screw it down as much as not being able to create an AI agent or something along those lines. But you can turn on those features and what they have access to. And when they sign up, you create a user, and you can even screw that further down on what users can do and what admins can do and all of that sort of thing. But yeah, if you were just giving them access to the contact list, there's sort of, it's not the smoothest way of doing things, because they're still going to see conversations coming in. They're still going to see bits and pieces. Charles, I know you're going to have a solution, mate. Hi, and start walking.
Hi,
He's
Charles.
on his chair tonight.
Oh, I can't hear you, Charles.
No, we can't.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, not walking today, still recovering from the winter storms and craziness. But so really, if you really want to, put the screws to it, or, lock it down, there's only 3 ways to do it. 1, don't give them access to high level, period. 2, you would have to set them as a user, or set up a custom role within that sub account for those users. So you would have to go through permissions. You'd have to do it with one user, set all the permissions that you want them to have access to, what you don't want them to have access to, view, edit, whatever granular permissions you can nail down, and save it as a custom role. And then you would have to apply that role to every user that gets added. And one of those permissions would have to be to eliminate the ability for them to add another user. Okay. Because the SaaS configurator does not allow you to tighten things down nearly what you would assume it does. You will turn features off. And yes, on the front side, you may not see them. However, on the settings panel, oftentimes you will still see them and have access to them. So you're going to have to get very over granular with your permissions at a user level, set a custom role, and then any new admin that gets put in, you would set them to that admin custom role. And that way, yes, maybe they have access to some things, but you're really able to restrict down what they can view, edit, or have access to based on that. That's the second solution. The third solution, the only other way that you can really do this, is with the marketer's toolkit. The marketer's toolkit. So the marketer's toolkit is that's all they do. So you've got the theme customizer from Extendly, which is a great tool if you're not getting hyper granular or very custom. If you're looking, hey, I just want to brand it, make it look a little bit better, maybe change how some menus are named, maybe change some icons, different things like that, it works great for that. If you're going down the rabbit hole of custom offers that require very limited access, you need to make sure that nobody, even admins, can see it. The only way to do it is with the marketer's toolkit. So
can I put a fourth option in?
Yeah.
A fourth option: create something on Lovable that just takes out the information from high level that you need, and just give them access to that.
Yeah, that goes back to don't give them access to GoHighLevel.
Yeah, just don't give them that. If they don't need access, as long as you can sort of get email reports and all of that sort of thing out to them, and high level does that natively as well. If you can avoid giving them access, I think that's the better idea.
All they're going to need is the transcripts coming out to them after the calls. They don't need to go in and do anything. We don't want them touching anything, especially if they're only going to pay a minimum fee to have a basic service.
So you could set up an email to email that out, couldn't you, Charles?
Yeah, and that was my other question. So you said there was one part where you need them to go in possibly and do something after the call, or
they don't.
It would be no. That was me thinking in. CRM mode of, if I want to go back in and check what messages, I would go back in and look at the contact and the notes on the contact and see what's been going on.
They
However,
don't
if we're
need
doing
that,
a
Adam.
message,
They don't need it.
no,
They've got their
that
own
was
booking system. They don't need anything. But it's
exactly.
just a
So
message
here's
service.
here's the other thing that you could do, is, and you could do this in Lovable, you could do it in, whatever your poison of choice, or you could even do it with ChatGPT. You could do it in their sub account, even in Agent Studio. You could connect to MCP and create a private token with only view access, not edit access. And essentially, they could chat and get any information they want on any contact. Now, this is really going down the rabbit hole here, but you could set up a private integration key for the MCP of HighLevel to where they could go into ChatGPT, Claude, or you could build a custom AI agent inside of Agent Studio to where they could chat with it and say, hey, I just had a call from this number. Can you tell me the notes that we have on it? And it would return the notes. It would return contact information and everything. That's the power of the MCP. So they wouldn't actually have access to the platform. It'd all be done through a chat module, leveraging the MCP.
Yeah.
Taking Steven's, you could create a nice little interface that has some maybe basic reporting, and then there's a little chat window that connects through the API via the MCP. You could do that.
Sorry, Charles, what's an MCP? I'm being thick here, maybe.
So think of an MCP as just packaging up the entire API. I think right now they're only at like 25 or 27 endpoints. Most of them are contact and opportunity related, as well as calendar related. But it's basically packaging up the API in a neat little package and giving it to an AI LLM so that it can access it and read it and go back and forth with it however it determines it needs to. So instead of having to build out all these API connections saying, okay, well, first we need to look up the contact, then we have to take that contact user ID, use that to find the notes, return the notes. The MCP, along with the LLM, is able to figure all that out. The LLM looks at the MCP, sees all the connections available, even 2-3 tiers deep into the API, and you just give it a simple command. Hey, I'm talking to Jackie Frost. Can you tell me the last appointment we had? It would look you up, look into your appointments, and then just return the appointment date. So it makes building API integrations for LLMs a lot simpler because you're just connecting the MCP. And there is a help doc in the HighLevel knowledge base around the MCP and how to implement it into ChatGPT, Claude, and then you can take that same information. It's native in the Agent Studio as a connection. So you can build out a custom bot inside the Agent Studio. And you could strip everything down, and the Agent Studio gets connected through Ask AI, which is that little chat thing. And they would have to be on, the only way they would be able to do it is you'd have to be on employee AI employee. But
And is this something Extendly would be able to help us with, or
no.
is this outside the remit?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I'll just go ahead and nope.
No, that's fine. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a custom solution. I mean, there are people in the community that could whip this up for you in no time. Steven could definitely reach out to you maybe after the call and get you a few names.
That would be great if you could, please.
Hey, here's some good contacts that he knows, likes, and trusts that could build out, either, because if you're like me, like, great, I get I can do it in Lovable, but I'd rather just pay someone to get it done and not have to deal with it myself. Steven will know people like that that he can refer you to, or even himself.
I'll teach you how to
build
do it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
teach you how to do it in half a day.
Yeah. There's solutions. It just depends
Okay.
on which route you want to go. You know,
Yeah.
if you want to
But
keep it all in high level, you can customize it with the marketers toolkit, or really set up a custom user role in every sub account that you'd have to do it in every sub account. And
And
that's where the
that's
marketers toolkit is a little bit better deal,
I've
because you
not
could say
seen that.
if you sell this SaaS plan, so this is how I do my social only. If I sell a social only SaaS plan, the marketers toolkit is tied in to where if I sell that SaaS plan, it only allows certain things. It removes everything else that is unrelated to my offer.
and when you say markers,
And
that's MARKERS.
marketers.
Oh, marketers.
marketers, yep.
And is that something we can get from Extendly or GoHighLevel? I've not
No,
heard of that.
completely different company.
Okay.
Have a look at the website, Jackie, and if you like it, I actually, when I signed up to High Level, which I'm not using it as an agency anymore, I bought a lifetime deal. And if I can sell that and you are interested in it, we can come to some sort of arrangement, if you like.
Perhaps
Cool.
sometime we can get your boat to come our direction and you can have a meet with me and Adam.
Which is your direction?
Northampton.
Actually, I'm going in that direction right now. I'm heading to Stratford upon Avon and then Birmingham and then up your way.
We're down.
Birmingham.
Oh, you're down. Okay, I've got to turn around.
We're between Birmingham and North London.
Okay, I know where you're talking. I'm not
Milton
too far away
Keynes.
now. Yeah. I'm on the wrong part of the Grand Union right now. I'm in Warwick right now, Leamington Spa.
Yeah, you're about an hour from by car.
Yeah. But anyway, we
Yeah,
digress.
that'd be good.
But
Yeah,
there are
thank you.
many ways of skinning the cat. But the easiest way, Adam, don't give them access to High Level.
Yeah.
That's by far the
I'm
easiest
thinking,
way.
yeah, either using the AI Studio or, like you said, Lovable. I've not used Lovable, but I've used Replit.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
those
just
sorts of
create
things
something simple.
Yeah, those sorts of things can be done quite easily as well. But relies on AI. You've had your hand up. Go for it, buddy.
Great.
Thank you.
Hi. Hello. Mhm.
Great. Hi, Stephen and Charles, everyone. I have an important question because the onboarding team did onboarding and I purchased a separate onboarding package, but they by mistake they upgraded my customer who is on a paper pay-as-they-go plan to the unlimited AI plan. So I want to know where can I. And then I realized I do not know how to downgrade my customer and also how to remove the affiliate code. So if you can show me, that'd be great. And also onboarding, like white label onboarding already replied that they will, they will ensure the SOP, they will not do that again. So,
Okay,
but
it's very unusual that they do that. We normally don't do anything like that. So apologies if the
I'm
team did do that.
surprised.
Apologies if the team did that. Charles, I know you got the screen sharing. Do you want to turn around where you can cancel the subscription for a certain sub account for the Ultimate AI employee?
Yeah.
I know it's there. I just don't have access to it anymore.
Let's see. Let me get this hold up here.
This is exactly how to do it. To cancel a sub account from the unlimited.
So I will say that, and this applies to anything. So like WordPress, WhatsApp. If you're wondering like what sub accounts have what add-on subscriptions, and you're wanting to manage those or cancel those from an agency standpoint, just go into settings, then billing, and you will see here on the right-hand side all these subscriptions that you can resell. They'll all be here, and you can show sub accounts, and then you can cancel the subscription.
Oh, wow. Okay, this is the agency part.
Yeah, it's an agency dashboard, and this just makes it. Yes, you can go into the sub account and do it that way. It's just easier from the agency side because you get full view.
Right, yeah, I was trying to find it. Yeah.
Yep, it's just under billing on the subscriptions section. So you just click billing, you're already there. You don't have to navigate anywhere else. And then you'll see it on that right panel under reselling. You'll see
Great.
every reselling item along with who's doing what and using what.
Great.
So,
and what you're
And
not using.
also, how can we remove that code, affiliate code for the AI employee as well?
let me ask you this. So your offer was based on pay as you go, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then they upgraded for the unlimited. Do you know if it got deployed directly or if it was bought through the sub account at the markup rate?
So the product created at the configurator, it doesn't have that AI, unlimited AI. So I think
Right.
onboarding team
But
added.
that's not what so do you know if the customer is paying for it on top of what they're already paying you?
The customer knows that they are on a pay per use, so they pay the AI based on their usage. It's not unlimited.
Okay.
If they want to unlimited, they will pay amount to upgrade.
Like 147 or whatever.
Right, exactly, 147.
Okay. Okay. So do you have a recording of the call?
Yeah, I do. You
Okay.
mean with the
So
customer or with the onboarding team?
with the onboarding team with the customer, the onboarding team with the customer.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, they did a call
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay. Have you watched it?
I was with them on the call actually.
Okay. Okay. All right. So they just upgraded. They didn't say anything to the customer while you were on
They
the call?
right, they didn't say anything to me either, cause
Okay.
yeah.
No, that's okay. The reason I ask is the only reason I ask that is there are always three versions to a story. Always. Okay. There's the
Yeah.
customer's version, there's the employee's version, and then there's the truth. And that's why I asked if you watched the video. I didn't know you were on the onboarding call, but that's why I asked if you watched the video because I could see where maybe I've had customers go through onboarding, they start talking about it, and they mention that, oh well, yeah, you can add it as an add-on, and onboarding has upgraded them to the unlimited AI. But the customer was made aware that hey, it's another $147 on top of what you're already paying. Customer opted for it. They just explained it and ended up selling it during onboarding. I've had that happen with several reselling items, which, hey, I don't mind at all. If onboarding wants to make me more money, hey, have at it.
Yeah, I don't mind that
So
either.
yeah. So
But
I just wanted to double check. That's all. So, but you can just go into your billing and cancel the subscription there. Refund the money to the client if you want to. Although if they did it in the back end without telling the customer, it just billed you. It didn't bill your customer.
correct.
So
Exactly.
you may be able to reach out to high-level support to the billing department and ask for a refund. It's not to say that they're going to give you one. Say, hey, this was done by accident. You don't need to explain the whole situation. Just say, hey, this was accidentally done. I'm canceling it effective today. Is there any way I can get a refund? As far as removing the affiliate code, I believe it has to be in there for 90 days before it can be updated or removed. And that's a high level. Again, you would have to, in regards to that, you would have to reach out to high level support using the blue question mark in the upper right hand corner of your agency. They're the only ones that could, if you're not able to go in and remove it, they're the only ones that might be able to go in there and do it. So, and how you get to see if you can remove it.
so we've got the reason how to cancel and all of that sort of thing, Tina. So we should be right. Can we move on to? Are we sorted out here?
Yes, we are. And
No.
okay, so I have to call with high level for where to remove the affiliate code for AI employee, right? I think
So go
onboarding
to
team.
hold on. Go to AI employee on the left-hand side. Click manage your offer. And then you can click edit code.
Oh, I see. Thank you. That's exactly what I needed.
See, I didn't know that one. Thanks for teaching me.
Yep. Yeah, you're gonna have to take it. You're gonna have to open up a ticket to have it removed. So they lock it, I think, for 90 days. So
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well, yeah, that's not what I wanted. This completely, yeah, it's not.
Understand? I totally understand. What you need to do is you need to click cancel here and click the question mark in the upper right-hand corner and open up a ticket with HighLevel.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't get us on a Zoom with them. Jeff, sorry to keep you waiting, mate. You had your hand up for a bit. Hopefully you got a question
Thank
for
you.
Charles.
Thanks so much. Can you hear me okay?
Certainly can, mate. How are you, my friend?
Okay, great. Good to see you. Thanks. Well, this is a more exciting call. I had a meeting yesterday with the president of a mortgage brokerage company. They have 12 agents, and so most of the calls that come in, the way they're set up, actually go to each agent's individual cell phone number as opposed to the central number. They do have a central number, but they're handled for each individual loan officer. They get their own calls. So in terms, I wanted to maybe get some brainstorming and thoughts in terms of the appropriate pricing for. Yeah, it's basically a pretty full package of text callback, high level. I mean, a very advanced voice agent and across social media, but they're not big in social media. They need to get it on their website as well as their phone, and data reactivation as well as reputation management. So in doing that, the question is, how individualized is it for each of them, and what are the issues I should consider in setting up pricing? Because it shouldn't be just one price covers an infinite number of lines, right? There has to be some line fee. So really, those who have some experience, I'd like some thoughts and brainstorming. I mean, I have my ideas, but I've never done one of these before. So I'm here for the experts to give me some advice and thoughts.
Anybody want to go first, or should I go first?
I mean, I'll just say it should be one cost, and you don't need to worry about the phone lines or the minutes or anything else on that, because that's all covered through rebilling. So if they buy 4 lines, 5 lines, 10 lines, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're still making your margin. You just set that up through rebilling. Whatever you want to charge for setting up the service and, the system itself and, whatever I mean, that's up to you. But as far as telecoms, that's almost a mute point. You just need to figure out what you want your multiple to be on the rebilling side. So, on the phone multiple, do you want to do 1.5, 3, 5 times? You can set it to whatever you want. So they could start off their account with 2 phone lines and then expand to 50. Doesn't matter. You're making money every time they buy a phone number, so let them buy all they want.
So, but
Yeah,
if it is if each a loan officer wants some individualization as opposed to a single voice agent, aren't there some issues with that that has to be customized at
Not
the
necessarily.
level?
No, not necessarily, because you're gonna have one tracking number that is for the business, period. Like that's their new main number. Okay.
Right,
And it just routes to the main office line, goes to AI, and then maybe it goes to the main line. That's it. And then each agent can have their own tracking number that goes to their cell phone or has a voice AI attached to that phone number.
right.
You would just be
They would have
setting up
voice
additional
AI
voice
on their
AIs. Yep.
that's exactly it. They would have voice AI on their own phone, and it may be
Yeah.
for them. So if I'm sending it up individually for each one,
Then you need
is
to
that
figure out a
different?
setup fee. So what I would do personally, because I wouldn't want to do that for my customers. I'm lazy. So what I would do is I would reach out to customer success at Get Extendly and say, hey, got a proposition. If I have an account that's already been onboarded and gone through the AI onboarding for their main bot, how much would you charge me to send additional ones through for the same account to build out additional bots using the same model just for a particular phone line? How much would
Okay,
you charge me? They say, well, we'll charge you, just a normal onboarding, let's say it's $100. Okay. Go to my customer. Hey, I will set up all the agents you want at $200 a pop.
got it. So basically, just
And then
one monthly.
then I'd be done. I would not get in the middle of it. But whether you're doing it yourself or you're having someone else do it for you, you just need to figure out what your cost is as far as
Charles, just so
time
you know
spent.
me, I'm not doing anything myself.
Okay.
I sell.
Then I would contact
I,
customer success at Get Extendly and ask and
Mhm.
propose that scenario. Say, look, if I have an account that's already been onboarded, how
Okay,
much would it cost me to have additional receptionist agents built out in the same account?
okay,
What does that cost per additional agent? I'm signing up a large client that's going to need a lot of bots. I don't want to do it. You guys do a good job. You're already going to set up their main one as part of the offer. That's fine. But
right,
what if they need another one? What's that cost? And then just bring that back to your customer. Whatever your margin wants to be, you're not having anything to do with the process, and they'll coordinate with you. Extendly's good at that. I
got
mean, I've ran into situations similar to this, and I just email customer success and say, "Hey, here's my scenario. What's it going to cost me? Well, let's figure this out." Because at the end of the day, they want your customers happy because then you're happy. So
got it. So if there end up being individual agents attached, customized for each individual cell phone number, because the calls are not coming in through the main line, they're getting them directly. Um, it's still because it's part of one account, it would only be one monthly fee. There aren't additional AI agent fees or anything else, even
well, they
though,
should be on at that point. I mean, they should be on unlimited AI.
right,
But if they're not going to use their tracking number, you're going to have to get them all to forward their numbers to the tracking number to get it into the voice AI.
okay, right,
Let's say so, and that'll depend on what carrier they have.
right. I think it will end up being through forwarding. They probably will want to answer their own calls if they're available. So the AI is either when they're asleep because they work
Can't do
24/7.
okay, so if you're forwarding phone numbers, you can't do that.
Okay,
If because it will create a call loop. So you
okay.
can't do that. The only way that's going to work is they have to start giving out their tracking number, because then you can
They're
say,
not going
okay,
to change.
well, then you're stuck at an impasse,
Okay,
because it's a technical limitation. You can't, if they're wanting to just forward their calls to the tracking number, which is attached to the voice AI, okay,
right.
the tracking number has to be there. That's what the voice AI connects to. So that's non-negotiable. Okay,
Right.
now how the call gets to that tracking number is negotiable. They have two options. One, they can start getting out the tracking number. Two, they can forward from their cell phone to that tracking number.
That's what they will do.
Okay, that's fine. But it is either on or off. There is no ring a couple times, then forward it to the voice.
So it's a permanent forward.
You're either forwarding the call or you're not forwarding the call.
Otherwise,
It's an
then it's
on-off switch.
the call attendant, correct? Which is like an after-hours attendant.
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of that's what some service-based companies are. They're almost using it like a voicemail 2.0. They're saying, okay, I'm clocked out for the day. They'll forward their calls to that tracking number, and then
Right.
they're clocked out. But during the
Right.
day, they have it off, and they got to answer all those calls.
So
I mean, it's
so that means if they're in a meeting,
call forwarding on a
up.
cell phone is an on-off switch. There is no rules associated with it. You either dial the pound whatever it is or star whatever it is to forward your number, and it's forwarding, or you do it again and it stops forwarding. That's
Charles,
it.
can I
But
just
you
say
can't.
on that, sorry, on our mobiles, I don't know if you're referring to Apple's, but on Androids, I can forward when it's busy, when it doesn't get answered, or all calls. Are you saying you can't do that?
Well, this is at the carrier level. So this is actually this is sending a command to the carrier. The problem is you don't know what phones they're using or what
No.
carriers they're using. So typically what most agencies will do is they will forward it using phone commands, dial commands in the phone. So just like you're dialing a phone number, there's like *67 or
Yeah.
whatever it is
Right.
for that carrier to forward all the calls.
Right.
But
Yeah,
it's an
but again,
on-off switch.
again, we've got options to do different star codes here. So
Right, but at the carrier level, they usually don't offer that diverse of an option. It's either
Okay.
forwarded or not.
Okay.
And again, if you forward it to the AI agent, you can't forward it back out to the cell phone because it'll
Right. Because
at
then you
no
get in a
point.
loop.
Okay. Loop. It
It's
has to
in a
go to a
loop.
different
Yep.
number.
Yep. Which totally destroys the process. But yeah, I mean, it would have to go to the main number, which is then going to go into an AI. It's a mess. But yeah, so they just need to be aware. Hey, it's an on-off switch.
Turn
Pick
on or
your
off.
poison. Share the number or turn it on and off. Those are your two options.
Unless, as Jackie said, that the carriers they do have at the carrier level the ability to, if it's busy or if
Carriers
it
don't.
rings.
I can tell you that for
Okay, they
certain.
don't.
Carriers do not offer that.
Okay,
Some phones may, but the
got it.
carrier themselves does not. They
Okay,
have they have a lot of star codes, yes. They're all for different purposes. Checking your voicemail or accessing your
right.
voicemail, checking your billing, either account related actions, phone number related actions, or it's not available at the carrier. I promise
So
you that.
the only way really to address that is that everybody, if they have a phone that the phone allows that kinds of customization, then it can be done. But otherwise it can't. Otherwise it can't.
I don't recommend doing that, even if it is an option, unless
Uh-huh.
every single person has that option. And
Right.
here's why. Because it'll turn into an absolute support nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Because you will not know
It
who's got
has to
what
be a
and
single. It
how
has to
they've
be a
got it
single
set.
phone, right?
Correct. It has to be a single implementation process, because
Right.
you start customizing it by user in the sub account. Holy hell. I feel sorry for anybody that touches that support, because they're not going to know how are you forwarding at the carrier? No, I'm forwarding in my phone. Okay. What about the next person?
Right.
Oh, we're forwarding at the carrier. What the hell? What's going on?
So in
Um,
terms, once I get the information about what they really have in terms of equipment, what their real needs are, how they want to design it, who or what do you suggest I speak to
I wouldn't
get some
approach it like
guidance?
that. I would tell them, look, I can provide you with two options.
Got
Either
it.
you can advertise and put out this tracking number that we're going to give you,
Okay.
or you have the option of forwarding your calls from your phone to the tracking number so that the voice AI can catch it.
So that's why
Just
the
be
tracking
aware that you
number
would
is
have to
advantageous.
just be aware that you would have to turn on the forwarding and off the forwarding as needed. Those are
Right.
their two options. They have to make a choice. There's no conversation to be had. Like, you just need to explain the possible options and say, this is what
So
I can do.
if there's a tracking number, the AI agent is always the first to answer the call. They're not getting the call directly, right?
No, that's not true. You can set it to
Okay.
where it'll ring the phone, and if the phone doesn't pick up, the AI agent will kick in and set a voice
Okay.
clip.
So that's how with regardless of the
If
handset,
they're using if
that
they're using the
capability.
tracking number, if they're pushing out the tracking number, they're giving everybody their tracking number, then yes, it can ring their cell
Right.
phone, and
So,
if they don't answer, it can go into the AI receptionist.
so that's also advantageous for the mortgage company because they control those tracking numbers. If the people leave,
Correct.
they take their number, but the tracking number is owned by the company.
There you go.
Wait,
Excellent.
can I add a question in there too, Charles? You'll know better than I
Thanks.
do. And I know on my iPhone and all that sort of thing, if I set bedtime or focus or whatever it is, I can just let calls from contacts through or not let calls through at all and all of that sort of thing. Would that be a way of setting up this call forward to the tracking number?
I don't think you can on an iPhone. I don't think you can do the call forwarding part. You may be able to through um, shortcuts, maybe.
Because I know after 7 o'clock at night, my phone automatically switches over and only things from contacts in my phone will get through.
Right. Yeah, that you can do. But the forwarding part,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't even, I mean, you can do text message forwarding, but that's about it. The only other possibility would be on shortcuts, but I don't think they have that kind of capability, to be honest with you.
It's just another idea there for you, Jeff.
Well, and
Yeah.
there goes to the point of how complicated, if you
Yeah.
start trying to come up with, a la carte solutions based on what the user has, I mean, that just goes to show how complicated that can get really quick. So because what if it's available on 26.1.4 beta,
Yeah.
but it's not available on iOS 18, and that's the one that they have because they never upgrade their damn phone.
Right.
Then what are you
So
gonna
obviously tracking number. So you're saying
not
that for a single monthly fee, they could have an unlimited number of tracking numbers, and they just charge for the setup of those tracking numbers. In other words,
the tracking numbers are purchased separately. It's a
right.
separate purchase. So they're paying one price for the access to the
Sure.
platform, and then they pay, I think phone numbers are like $1.25 or $2. They're not expensive. The actual phone
Right.
numbers are not expensive.
Right.
But then you can mark that up. So you can do 2x, 3x, whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
So every time they buy a phone number, you're getting paid 5 and you pay high level 2, or whatever you want to do. That's all set up in your SaaS plan under
Right.
rebilling. That's your rebilling multiple. So that part doesn't matter. And then you just get into wallets and how many credits are you giving them? Hey, we give you $10 or $15 or whatever. Yeah, I mean that's all incremental costs.
Got
There you
it.
go.
Okay. Well, as I get into the specifics with them in this and get the data of what they have, can I reach out to you, or is there someone who can consult and advise? Here's the best way to do it. Here's how we'd set it up. Is there someone at Extendly? And I'll pay for it. I'm not looking for necessarily a freebie.
Just come to any of these. Just come to any of these calls.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jeff,
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's two ways of doing it, and they're both the ways that Charles did it. So sort of dictate, you can do it this way, you can do it that way, and away you go.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Terrific. Thank you.
Cheers.
This has been
Gaetano,
invaluable.
Cheers, buddy. Charles is a legend. Gaetano, next question for Charles.
Actually, I don't know who could answer this question, but first of all, I want to say I have been so pleasantly surprised by Charles. This goes directly to you. Ever since I started talking to you, things have been flourishing in my company. And I appreciate that because of the advice that you gave me. But as I'm coming to these calls, I'm pleasantly surprised that Charles is there, and then I'm getting to meet new people. And it seems like there's a lot of professionalism, there's wisdom, there's quality, there's product knowledge, and a desire to actually help one another succeed. I want to thank you for all of you for that. Okay, so that being said, I went ahead and bought into Extendly, and thank you for the presentations that you gave me, Steve. However, I'm not able to get into any of the accounts, or I'm not able to get into the system. And I've been going back, I've been talking to different people, and I received an email just today from Zach indicating that, I'll just read it real quick. The purchase seems to have not automatically triggered the creation of a new Extendly OS account. This appears to be a bug in the system. I'm flagging this for our development team to get the account created at ASAP. We'll follow up if it's done. But it goes on to say, in the last sentence, it says, if you still end up having trouble, then please email support getextendly.com with a Loom video showing the problem. It may be something that we need to escalate to high level. Are you guys aware of anything like that?
When did you receive the email this morning?
Just this morning at 5, and I'm sorry, last night at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would say give it to the end of the day. I would say give it to the end of the day. You should just keep an eye on your emails, and you should receive additional. If you haven't heard anything by the end of the day, then you can reply to Zach and or you can actually it'd probably be better to email support at GetExtendly or customer success, either one, and say, hey, I spoke with Zach. This is what's going on, and you may even forward the email that.
Sure.
That's probably what I would do. I would take the email from Zach, forward it to support at GetExtendly, and just include your information in there.
Yeah. It came from the support team. It came from Justin.
Well, there you go.
Gaetano, did you get to log into learn.getextendly.com? Did you?
Yes, I can log in to learn at getextendly.com.
Yep. So you can
I'm
access
using this, and I'm using the same email that I subscribe to.
You can't get into OS.
But I cannot get into OS.
Okay,
And what it's telling me, what happens is signing to your account, I sign in, and then a pop-up comes up and says, this email does not exist in the system.
Yeah, gotcha.
So they're working on it.
After this fall, Gaetano, I can see it came from Justin. I've got Justin in my Slack channel over there. I'll just send him a little message.
I think it did come from Justin, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send him a little message saying I just spoke to you, and I'll just give him a little nudge to see what's going on.
And by the way, I'm not concerned about it. I know that it's just a bug. It'll get worked out.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not complaining. I just thought perhaps you guys might know something about that. That's all.
Yeah, I'm not
Not,
sure of anything. I know we were having problems with the Extendly OS and the account creation a couple of days ago. I thought that was fixed. It may not have been fixed, but I know that they are on it. And I'm looking in the Slack thread over there too, Gaetano. There's about 15 people talking about fixing the problem right now. I'm
okay.
sure it'll be right soon.
One more thing, if I may, real quick. It has to do with I went ahead and linked into the agency A2P compliance training. And when I did that, I received another pop-up that says, you've already purchased this offer. And I can't get back into it at all. So I'm assuming that it's partly due to the inability to get into the account at the moment.
Yeah, we haven't taken that out properly yet. So the A2P snapshot we've removed for the moment because come January about the 16th it was, A2P went crazy in the United States. And they changed everything how they were doing it. So our team are actively looking at and working on solutions to recreate that snapshot and get it out to you. I know we haven't got it yet, but we are working on it. But it should show you that when you open it up, hey, we're building this. We will get it out to you. But Gaetano, you are in the system, and as soon as we have a new one built, you will be notified via email as well.
Okay. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm not concerned. Thank you very much.
That's okay. We're here to help, especially Charles. Sarah, you got your hand up.
I do. Okay. Don't kill me on this one, Charles. So we've been talking in some of the Extendly meetings about this workflow. It's B007, the appointment confirmation. So I have had 2 appointments and I'm not getting my link and I cannot figure out why. It's published. It says assigned to user. I don't know if I don't know why it's not firing. And I'm looking at the execution logs and I'm still not figuring out why I'm not getting that. Oh my gosh, I just figured it out. It's an
what's the solution?
Well, it's an SMS and my A2P is still having challenges. So that's why.
Okay. It's showing up in the emails?
Well, I don't see an email though. I only see the SMS.
Yeah, just copy the message out of the SMS, create an email action, copy the contents of the SMS into an email for internal no, not internal notification. Just send in yes, internal notification. I'm sorry, internal notification, copy the contents of the SMS and send it to yourself via email.
Got it. See,
I do it via
through sometimes.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I just have it send it to me in Slack. So I connected Slack and I have it message me in Slack because I see those before I see my emails or SMS. So you can customize that delivery however you want.
Okay. And I ditto everything that Gaetano said about this group and Extendly and everything. I really appreciate all of you. So thanks.
Fantastic. It's nice to be appreciated. Especially I appreciate Charles as well. But also on that note with the appointments and all of that sort of thing, I remember some time ago it was taking time to populate the location and the reschedule and the cancellations and all of that sort of thing. And in my small business snapshot, I put a delay of an extra minute at the start, and it fixed that as well. It was moving too fast for HighLevel.
This is in the reminder sequence. It's that status update form.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Yep.
Yeah.
I still don't get that working properly either. Charles, Gaetano's reached out to you in the chat, mate. But Bruce, you got your hand up, mate.
Hi. This may be a little off topic, but I just was wondering, for anyone who has an agency that has at least 5 or 10 sub accounts, are are you thinking of taking them up on this blueprint offer, and how would you how do you think about that?
I'm biased. I probably won't answer that. Gaetano took us up on that offer, and he might want to give some feedback. Listen, I almost started an agency again, Bruce, when that offer came out, where I could pay $1,000 a year plus $39 per sub account and just get them to press the buy button. That's everything, all of my dreams come true. It's the simplest things of high level. So there's no workflows to break. There's no huge complicated things inside high level. So to me, it was quite a good offer. And at that 5 to 10 sub accounts is a good. That's basically who it was pitched at. But please, my opinion is biased, so please don't take mine.
No, Stephen, I have a question because I have a meeting with the billing team today about it. My confusion was if, like, I know I have the AI with the 20 sub accounts, is that the $39, does that include onboarding and 24/7 support, or is that separate? That was my confusion.
Yeah, the answer is yes, Melanie. The $39 includes live chat, human rollover support, and the 6-call implementation.
That's insane. Charles, I know you're mad right now. I'm sure.
Well, and so here's the thing, and I understand where Bruce is coming from, where his train of thought is going here. So what happens at scale? Okay, 5, 10 accounts, 15 accounts, okay, whatever. Once you start getting up to 50, 100, 200, there are a couple different ways to go. You can say that, I'll play devil's advocate. We've got the blueprint offer. We all know what that is. $1,000 a year, $39 an account, or you can use the affiliate money from AI employee if you're delivering that, either or. Okay, so $39 doesn't necessarily have to come out of your own pocket per se. Okay, what are the options? Other options? Well, Extendly offers unlimited support, unlimited accounts. They have a package that is unlimited sub accounts. Why wouldn't I just do that and pay for my onboardings? You can certainly do that. What I will tell you from experience is I was on that unlimited when I started with Extendly. That was the biggest thing that they had. It got to a point that, yes, they offered chat support, but as I grew, my processes needed to get even more constringent. I needed to really nail down things to a T. And that's when I had to switch to enterprise and to get into full custom SOPs to really nail down particulars, because 10, 15 accounts, you can get away with a hell of a lot. 100, 200, 300, 400 accounts, you cannot. Those little things turn into massive problems very quickly. And so I had to switch to enterprise. Now, you can switch plans with Extendly at any time. Okay. If you start off on the blueprint, the thing that pissed me off about the blueprint, quite honestly, was that it is such a low entry point for such a high value. Essentially, you are getting almost enterprise solution for next to nothing. I had to pay $4,500 starting first month and every month after, plus usage fees based on the volume of chats my agency brings in. Okay. Now they're offsetting that some of this the way that they're setting it up, but it was a huge investment. Most of the people that were on that blueprint call could not do that. Could not afford $5,000-$6,000 a month in support. But once you get to scale, that's where you're at, and it starts to flatten itself out again, which is quite often your point, Bruce, is that at scale, where does this break down a cost per sub account? And, I get that.
My point
You'll
is really
get to a
simple.
point where the blueprint doesn't make sense anymore, and you'll want to go to enterprise. I hope you get to that point, is where right now at a low volume, blueprint does make the best sense for most people if they're on a projected path of growing. And then at a certain point, it may no longer be the best option for you. It may be the best option to switch to enterprise and say, hey, this has been great to get me to this point. Now let's switch over to enterprise.
What do you get with enterprise that's different then?
Yes, you get full customization of everything.
Okay.
You basically call the shots at enterprise. You get dedicated support agents on the ticketing side, but that comes at a high cost. I mean, you know, but but yeah, Bruce, you were going to say something.
My problem is there's a donut hole here. As you said, they're giving this enterprise level support to people who've paid Extendly nothing. And the sentiment I expressed to Extendly was that I have paid them to date in less than 9 months over $15,000, and yet I'm on a plus 20 plan, and I have no option to engage in this new onboarding sequence or the quarterly follow-ups or any of those things without switching to a $39 per sub account per month fee, which doesn't scale. The only way that would scale is if I were to convert to enterprise at some future point, but that's speculative. You know, for people who are in the middle, who are, you know, say 10, 20 sub accounts, the blueprint is not just a little more expensive, it's like double or triple as expensive as being on a plus 20 or plus 40 plan.
But you're also getting a hell of a lot more. I think that's what, so you're not going to get what is in the blueprint. You're not going to get on a plus 20 account. You're not going to get the additional calls on onboarding. You're not going to get the account check-ins. You're not going to get you're going to have to pay per onboarding or buy packs of onboarding. You know, there's a lot that you're not getting. With the blueprint, you won't get full customization of your SOPs because that's reserved for enterprise, but you will get some more customization than what you would not being on the blueprint. It's still going to be limited to a sense. That's how they're keeping some of the costs down, because the only way they can execute full custom SOPs is to have dedicated agents that only look at your agency. Otherwise, it becomes unreliable. So there's a big difference in service offering.
After onboarding is completed, after the first, say, 2 months, the only difference that they have articulated is a quarterly check-in call. So tell me what I'm missing.
Well, the quarterly check-in's not going to just be a, hey, how you doing? You know, if there's a problem, they're going to make sure that it's essentially you're paying for an account rep. So instead of me having to go out and hire someone to put in place to check on my accounts, make sure everything's good, make sure they don't need anything. You know, because as much as I want to say that we offer all the support possibilities we can think of to our customers, there's still people that will not go to support for whatever reason. And we have to reach out to them. So I can either hire someone, deal with that headache of employing someone and putting them on that same task, or I can just let Extendly do it. And I know that if something comes up in that call, it will get taken care of one way or another. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about hiring, firing, training, implementation, you know, SOPs for that person. You know, there's a lot to it.
I'm still processing all of this, but as you may know from you know, from these other calls recently, I went through a really deliberate, exhaustive process trying to set my price points, and adding $39 per sub account per month is it changes things. It changes things considerably, and I feel. I'm just venting here, but I feel as if the rug has been yanked out from under me here because what they're offering now to people who've paid Extendly nothing, as you said, is I agree with what you said as far as.
But they offered you a credit, right?
They did. They did offer me a credit, which would be exhausted in 3 months. So basically, in 90 days, my cost to Extendly would double or triple. That's basically what we're talking about.
And stay on your current plan.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
It's not
understanding
to
that.
say that the blueprint is for everybody. None of these packages are for everybody. Every agency has to look at themselves. Extendly is always marketing to new agencies. Yes, legacy customers, even myself, you'll usually see me in at least, if they're running 3 in a day, you usually see me in at least one. I'll try to make all 3 if I can, if I have the time. But yeah, I mean, I feel kind of, Jude on the whole, blueprint, because I'm like, damn, I wish I could have got in without spending $4,500 plus a crap ton of usage cost on top of that $4,500. I wish I would have had this option. Doesn't matter. I'm in the best plan for me right now, so I just don't opt into it. There's been other things that Extendly has done, and this is me, I don't work for Extendly. I'm contracted. I consult, but I don't work for Extendly. I run my own SaaS agency. I have to make the same decisions you do. Um, Extendly comes out with an offer. I'm like, is that a good offer for me or not? And if it's not, I pass. If it is, great, I can jump on it. Or I contact customer success just like you guys do, and I say, I like this part of it, but I only want that part. Is there any kind of deal we can work out here? Let me know what I got to do. What's the cost? Is this possible? If it's not, I totally understand. It might cause more friction than what it's worth. Totally get it. It's just a decision you have to make, and it may not be the best for you. That's no fault of Extendly's. It's just, if you're in the best plan for what you want to do right now, maybe staying on the 20, going to the 30 and 40 and unlimited, their traditional support line, maybe that's the best option for what you want to do, how you want to run your agency and structure your agency. There's nothing wrong with that. I was on the unlimited plan for 2 years, and then switched to enterprise. So, because they didn't have any other options, it was either stay where I was at or go full bore into enterprise. So, it's just that's where it's at. I mean, I've implemented. I mean, Extendly's my affiliate and AI employee. If I sell that plan, they're doing all the AI implementation. I'm not touching it. But yeah, so essentially I'm paying for 2 plans. Because I can't get out of enterprise. I'm too far scaled. So I have to maintain that. But then if I want to implement something else, yeah, I have to pay more cost. It's just part of it. It's a business decision for me alone to make. So I get that it can be frustrating. You put out money and you're like, oh, well, this is a better offer. It's no different than when I've had customers come to me in the past. They signed up with me. Less than 20 days later, I ran a special for $97 and $970 for the year, and they just paid $29.70 less than 20 days before, and they're like, oh, well, why can't I get that? Because you're already an existing customer, and this just went live now. Sorry about your luck.
Well, the point you just raised is exactly what I'm talking about. You mentioned the idea that when you're at scale, you can do things like offer a 970 a year thing without it being so much sweat because you're at scale. But on the blueprint plan, you're talking about 40% of that money off the top just to pay for the blueprint, and that changes the dynamics.
Well, would you rather? Yeah, but not really. I did this when I was small too, because I'd rather have 60% of a whole lot than 40% of nothing.
I mean,
I will take that 60%
that's
all day,
kind of,
every day.
I understand everybody's situation is different, but there is a cost to supporting the people besides
I understand that.
besides this. So if I
I
piled
get
on
that.
hundreds of people at $97, that would be very hard. It wouldn't be as obvious of a yes as you're suggesting. I'm despite everything that I've said, I'm seriously considering taking them up on it, but I'm also aware that in doing so, I'm selling a piece of my future here, because I had assumed that I would be able to scale in the way that the economics of the plus plans and unlimited plans dictated.
You'll still be able, everything you're talking about, this is not like we're going to strap Bruce down into a chair and never let him get up. Just because you sign up for the blueprint or don't sign up for the blueprint, I don't want to try to talk you into either way. You need to make the best decision for yourself. But you're not committed to that for eternity. Just like I wasn't on the unlimited. I ended up switching to enterprise because that's what made the best sense for me at that point in my business. If at this point in the business the blueprint makes the most sense for you, great, then buy it. And when it becomes that it's not the best point, you can always switch to something else. You're not locked into it for eternity. You can say, look, I don't like this anymore. It doesn't make sense. I want to go back to my 20 plan, or I'm not scaling like I wanted to. I want to go back to my 20 plan. All you have to do is reach out to customer success. They are not going to, pigeonhole you into any plan. I promise you that. They're not going to, Beyond will not allow it. He will, even if it's not supposed to be an option, he will figure something out. That's just who he is. That's why I do business with Extendly. And I get that there's additional costs outside of the blueprint. I get that. Bruce, you know almost you do know everything that I use in my agency. Everything. And you know the costs associated with everything that I use in my agency. I know what it costs, and I know I can still sell accounts for $97. Do I make as much money? No. Do I make money? Yes. I'm still profitable. Well, if I sell is that small amount of profit times 100 worth it, or times 200 or 300 or 400? Yeah, I get it. Margins aren't as, gravy as we would want them to be, but that's not to say that you're going to sell $97 accounts either. I mean, there's a reason why my low ticket offer is $47 a month, and that's on the social planner, but there's no onboarding. There's no hard cost that, like, it really does not cost me anything to spin up that account. There's no onboarding. And the support they do ask is very little, and not enough to even sneeze at. So it doesn't cost me any more than what I'm already doing. And that's at $47 a month. I could make a $97 offer that was just a core system, and it'd be the same way. Or I could give the whole platform at $97 or $970 a year, and I've done that. And yeah, does it feel as good? No, I'd much rather sell it for $29.70 at minimum, but I still make money.
I don't want to take any more time with this today, but I appreciate the thoughts.
Reach out to customer success, mate. We said on the webinar, if you're an existing customer, if you want it to work for you, we will find a way to make it work. And that's what the two Zach said, and they will find a way to make it work for you if that's the road that you want to go down. Speaking about bargains, guys, before we wrap up, because we've gone 15 minutes over, Charles put his link for coaching in there. And at $100 an hour, Charles, you are undercharging by a mile. So if you want one-on-one coaching with Charles, get on it soon, because I am going to convince him to put his prices up, because that's way too cheap. I know people half as good charging twice as much, Charles.
Well, Stephen, keep your opinions to yourself, please.
Folks, my dinner's on the table. Sorry.
Yeah. I do it just because I understand everybody's at a different position, and yes, I could definitely charge more, but I like helping as many people as I can. So,
mate, you're doing
and that's why that's why Steven and I are, that's why Steven wanted to set up this meeting. He wanted something that was a little bit more relaxed, chill. Hey, we're a community. Let's act like a community. Let's just have conversations and discussions. Which I love this call. I love Steven's energy.
And we appreciate both of you.
we love you all as well. My dinner's on the table now. My wife's getting the shits and she's going to poke me with a fire poker at the moment. So I'm going to go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And Bruce,
Thank you, guys.
reach out to customer success, mate. They will make something work if that's the road you want to go down. We'll see you all next week, guys. Have a fantastic week. Chat soon. Thanks, guys.